So day two, guys. And of course, I certainly don't expect to hear anything on day two. So going back to what I was saying in regard to these videos, I'm going to take a little moment to describe my situation, how it began, and how things started to fall apart. And we'll see how far I can get in 10 minutes because I don't know how long you would want to listen to me talk on. So we met in the spring of 2017. And wow, talk about an instant connection. We met online, and those of you who poo-poo online dating, well, I mean, I think you have to date within your range. If you're not if you're not a 10, you're not going to pull 10s, and if you're not, the whole notion of being able to date women at your scale is true if you get in front of them. But in my particular job, I'm not exposed to a lot of people my age. So it's really the only thing I can do to meet people. And I'm a reasonably attractive guy for my age. I'm in good shape, not a supermodel. But when I post a listing, it's a quick tip for you guys. If you are on online dating, your best bet is not to reach out, because women get reached out to like crazy. Your best bet is to sit back and there are going to be women who are going to be attracted to you. And your best bet is to sift through those and, do a vetting process. So in April of 2017, I got that smiley face, that like, a little bit of dialogue, and a few days later, we were at a restaurant and a little Indian place. And it was a great spot. The minute I met her, it was like instant on. She was very animated, very happy to see me. Our banter had been witty and fun, and you can go online to learn how to have witty and fun conversations with a girl, but yeah, we had just had such a great time. A game I like to play when I go on first dates is a game called the Cube Game, and you can Google that. Girls love it, and it's a nice way to get to know them. So that's all I'll say about that. But we had an instant connection, and oftentimes they say on a first date that should be it. But after talking for a couple hours, I was like, I don't want this date to end, and she didn't either. And so we went out to my car and kissed her on the spot. We went for coffee, and then we went and played pool. And that whole night we were holding hands, touching each other. It was just so good when that male-female polarity is so perfect. Got back to our cars, and for sure I wanted to take her home. But, and I tried. I tried to. At the time, I had a complex home situation with one of my parents, so I tried to go back to her place, but, she was concerned. Girls are concerned about, anything on the first date. It's possible, and it's happened to me, but, But when I went home, I was very excited because she was a very beautiful girl, more beautiful than her pictures had revealed. She had a great body, probably the best, figure of any woman I'd ever dated. And I've dated a lot, and I've dated attractive women, but, as women go, she was my 10. Of course, different strokes, different folks, but, because sure, everybody has imperfections, but for a 40-year-old woman, she was all that and a piece of cheese. So when I went home, I knew that it was on, and it was going to be great. And, I figured I'd give her a call the following week and set something up. But sure as nuts, the following day, she wanted me to come over and watch a movie. And, well, you and I know what she really wanted. And, the connection was electric. It was nonstop all night long. And I'll let your imaginations run wild. But when you have a real connection with a woman, like that, when you're in your pure masculine and she's in her pure feminine, it's explosive. And to be blunt, that energy continued through our entire relationship despite the horse shit that was going on, she was very physically addicted to me. And to be honest, it may have been what kept our relationship going on possibly longer than it could have with my behavior. So bottom line is that, if you haven't learned any dating or pickup skills, it's important to be bold when you're dating people. Women really appreciate that. That's a masculine thing to do. Don't be afraid to go for the kiss if you feel the energy. And, just live in the moment. And, I talked earlier about manifesting, and I had a relationship previous to that, which, was an attractive girl, but just, a lot of whining and complaining, basically a big baby. A lot of the women I've been with have been big babies. And when I say babies, they basically want someone to look after them. And you know what? There are guys who are into that, but that's not my thing. And this girl from the word go, I didn't get that vibe at all. It was just like two equals meeting and equal in our respective powers. So in the relationship, really, to be honest, it was on at that point. I mean, it's not like we had an official ceremony where we said, oh, now we're dating, but I just didn't want to see anybody else at that point. I don't think she did either. Our dating profiles came down almost without even talking about them. And we were enjoying each other tremendously. For the next 3 months, we're talking almost every night. And, and the fun that goes with it. I mean, yeah, when a relationship is new, as you know, sex is on the table, but there's so much more that, as you grow an affection for someone, because, a woman is bonding with you and you're bonding with her, you start sharing your lives and to be honest, that beginning actually was the beginning of the end. I know you're wondering what I'm saying, but one of the lessons you can learn, and you learn that from online, is that people only value things that are scarce. And, as much as I wanted to be with her all the time, and it was good, and, she loved it for a period of time, women especially, they need you to be a challenge. They need you to be gone. They need to wonder what you're doing. And at that time, I was just so primed for, my interest was so high that we were spending time together. I was fixing things at her house. I was buying her stuff. Classic mistakes that, basically imprinting my high interest on her. Because it's not like she wasn't doing anything. I mean, the business I'm in, I'm able to for example, I got a lot of furniture for her house. I upgraded a lot of things. It's the nature of the business I'm in. And she was just an administration job, so all she could do was be sweet and nice. But, fixing things around her house, working on stuff, and I was there a lot. And so basically, even after 3 months of our relationship, so what is that, April, May, June, even in the midsummer, she would start to pull away, where she'd be quiet for a few days. And I didn't lose my cool and start, one of the mistakes you can make as a guy when you're dating a woman is to, if you don't get a response, you start blowing up the phone saying like, why aren't you talking to me, and all that jazz. And well, that's, you put it out there and you wait for a response. But it was nerve-wracking because I had such high interest level in her. And as you know, if you've had a relationship before, you know that the pull is very, very strong to be with them. And so I can remember even talking to her, I even, one time we were talking, I said, are you talking to people about me, maybe your family or something? Are they saying things about me? Because her pulling away as compared to her high interest level didn't make sense to me. And that goes back to that male thinking, right? Us men, if we like something, we like it a lot. We just want to do it. And women are different. And even doing that was sort of an insecure thing to do. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have just been cool with it and rolled with it. And it's important to know that when you're dating a woman, just like Corey Wayne says, you have to be like James Bond and be unaffected. You have to be just cool. And, James Bond wouldn't be, with her every night. Maybe if he's on vacation, but he's busy on a mission. And, women value quality over quantity. And so in that particular, I can remember even when we were early on, she remarked to me she had never been with a man as much as I was with her. Not that she was complaining, but because we had an extraordinarily high sexual connection. But the routines of pulling away really started to get noticeable. And the relationship really by the midsummer had started, well, not by the midsummer, I'm going to say April, May, June. By July, the relationship had really started to form a bit of a sine wave, really high, to a little more lows. One of the mistakes I made actually was we went on vacation with our kids, and we were basically broadcasting our high interest level on the kids, and that was a hard trip because these kids didn't know each other and they were boys. That was a challenge. Not a smart move. And it didn't do anything for our relationship because there was a few incidents on that trip that, concerning frustrations by me especially, because I'm a guy who says, hey, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. But it really became pronounced when after that vacation in early September, she had an opportunity to go visit a friend in New York, which was going to be a flight. And without waiting for her to ask me to go, I just said, hey, when are we going? And it was almost like she didn't want me to go. And so I got a little butt hurt and pissed off. And again, I failed to be unaffected like James Bond, which again was another, that sine wave of ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. So anyway, we resolved that problem, we moved forward, but one thing you have to remember, guys, in regard to relationships is you do damage a little bit at a time. It does not, you could be a wife beater or you can steal her money, and that's damage all at once. But when you do the damage and it's insidious, that's why breakups sometimes catch us so off guard, because we always think, oh, we can fix this, we can make it better and it'll be fine. But no sooner has one incident happened that you're not handling right than another one is going on. So that's really, really important. So this video is at 13 minutes. I'm not gonna, I have more stories to tell and I'll do it tomorrow. And just about how the relationship carried on and ultimately how it met its demise in its current form, because I'm very positive that I'm going to be getting it back, because that's the only choice I have. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.